I can't believe that I missed some of these things at the Super Bowl, and I really didn't want to talk or share anything about the Super Bowl this year or Taylor Swift. Not only are all the fans of the NFL tired of this Taylor Swift debacle, Travis Kelce thing that's been going on, and how she's completely just taken over the NFL. Like, we're not here for it. We're not okay with it. And it needs to stop, essentially, right away. I want to show you guys this video where Ice Spice is thanking God in her acceptance speech, if you will. And Taylor Swift's response to it is completely shocking. And it's almost going to tie into how I talked about how she's a witch, and how she even openly claimed that she's a witch and that she does witch things. I did a video on that. Go check that out if you haven't already. But let's check this one out here. Let's check this clip out and see what Taylor Swift does. And we're going to talk about it.
Thank my Munchkins. I want to thank my manager, James. I want to thank my producer, Ryan, for making the best music with me. Shout out all the other nominees in this category. I want to thank my label, 10K and Capital, for always supporting me. And of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible. Shout out the Bronx.
Did you see how her shoulders dropped? I mean, she was so excited. Shout out to my producer. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the industry. Shout out to these. And shout out to the nominees. But then she's so supportive. Woo, yeah, let's go. But then she says, and of course, God. Not only was that like a backhanded, compliment that Ice Spice gave. And of course, God. But you see Taylor Swift's reaction. Her shoulders drop. And I'm going to run that back so you guys can see it. But her shoulders literally drop. She's high up here, excited, and as if, why would you do such a thing? Why would you do that? This is a demonic ritual that we're under. And how can we thank God? It almost as if she's like so taken back by it, as if that the demonic rituals that they partake in, it's almost as though by Ice Spice even giving an acknowledgement to God, which is the ultimate powerful power, by her even giving acknowledgement to him in a speech, I feel like it's probably not the thing to do to keep the demonic ritual going the way that they have it going. Let's run that back. I want you to pay close attention to Taylor Swift's reaction after she thanks God. Let's check this out.
And of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible.
See those shoulders?
Shout out the Bronx.
And she's shaking her head. And then after, it's like, shout out to Bronx. Okay, I'll clap for that one. But it was like, bro, and of course, God, she's shaking her head like, no, buddy, no. How could you do? Why would you do it? It's almost as if, because at the Super Bowl, they were talking about Ice Spice and how she had that inverted cross. And she popped up with it, and she was doing some very like demonic symbols in the audience. Let's check those out. You see those there? She's doing devil horns with her fingers. You can watch it again. She's doing devil horns with her finger with that inverted cross on her neck. It's very interesting. And when she's looking, what she's wearing, it almost kind of looks like those robes that like bishops and pastors wear with like the clergy neck. It kind of seems like it's pretty blasphemous. I don't know. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And like I said, I didn't want to mention too much on the Super Bowl, but even for me, when it came to the performance with Alicia Keys and Usher, it almost seemed like when you look at Alicia Keys' performance, it looked to me, even in that moment, it looked to me that the piano that she was performing off of, it looked like a serpent. I definitely see how there was like some like artistic curves and architecture in there of how it could kind of not make it look like it, but to me, that was a serpent. That was a straight up serpent that was on that stage, and it was red, and Usher was in all white, but she was in all red, and the way they mixed and joined together was almost like it was trying to, I don't know, mix light with dark. I don't want to reach too far, man, but I'm just saying that from last year when I talked about this with Rihanna's performance and what's going on here and what people have been saying and just the proof being right here in front of our eyes. I mean, she's got an inverted cross that she chose to wear. To that event. No one's forcing her to do that. And she's putting up these devil horns when the camera gets on her and she's looking around like as if, okay, I'm going to do this. Is that a signal? Is that like a sign? Is that something that they have to do to keep the ritual going? Is that a part of the ritual? You know what I mean? What is taking place at these rituals? What's the point of them? You see what I'm saying? What's the point of that? A lot of people were saying that when Usher was kind of taking off the white clothing and kind of stripping during his performance, it was almost like him taking off white, which was purity, and then joining in with the red, which was kind of like signifying, you know, Satan, kind of the demonic forces and things that the world is going into. So they're kind of saying that that was the demonic ritual right within itself. They're trying to push the world away from leaving purity. In other words, leaving God and moving into this more demonic realm, into this freeing, you know, captivating place where the devil, I feel, in my humble opinion, has had a lot of people stuck in that position. But this is very interesting to me, man. This is very interesting. You know, I always talk about industry puppets, and I think Taylor Swift is definitely one of them because she wasn't always like, there was like a time where Taylor Swift was known, and then I feel that there was a definite window where it was completely silent, and it was like no one knew about Taylor Swift. What's going on with her? What's she been up to lately? And then out of nowhere, it's like there's this huge like fan base, and it's like she's everywhere. Like I said, even leaked into the NFL. And I don't even know if that relationship is honest or if it's just for publicity. But honestly, I just be careful with this stuff, man. It just makes me so uncomfortable to know that, you know, people are out here doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? And it makes me want to know, like, what did God do to you? You know, what did God do to these people? Or what's their viewpoint on God, and why is it so bad to the point where they feel that they need to worship Satan? Like, I understand there's some people that don't believe in God, and to not believe in God, it doesn't automatically make you a Satan worshiper. That's a whole different, you know, topic, a whole different situation, and that can be addressed differently. But to actively worship Satan, that's a complete, like, that's a red flag. If I've never seen or heard one before, that's a complete red flag. And you see it in these industry, you know, celebrities. You see it with them. It's like they go from coming into the industry, just kind of being authentic, their true selves, having, I guess, hopes and dreams of the future of what can happen in their career in the industry, and then they turn into this, and then it's like they start selling the devil. It's like what they're doing. They're selling the devil. But selling the devil is like selling hate, selling like selfishness, arrogance, pride. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And it's like, that's all destructiveness. It's destruction. But I get it. You know what I mean? This is the world, man. And people, they want their fame here. And they're going to get their fame here. You know what I mean? You worship the devil. This is his playground. He's going to give you what you think you really want. But when the time comes down to it, man, and when the rubber really meets the road, you realize the devil can't really help you with anything, man. He can't help you. These people, they're not, I don't even think these people are really happy. You see it all the time. These people end up on, you know, manic depressive drugs and, you know, going through so many different things. And it's like, I don't feel like these people are happy. They say money can't buy you happiness, but that's really all they got. That's really kind of what I feel like they only sold their souls for, was for money and fame. That's it. And once you get the money and fame, you kind of realize that it ain't really what it's all made out to be. But now you're too far deep. This is terrible. This is terrible. And then she's got a fan base called, what, the Munchkins, I believe. So it's like little people. Or is this another celebrity where there's like little kids that follow and support this person? And this is the stuff that they promote. This is the stuff that they put out there. And they have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl because they wanted more people to watch, which they did get that outcome because Taylor Swift being there. But Taylor Swift also, like I said, has a huge fan base of little children. So you have little children tuning in to an adult event, which I believe the Super Bowl is, and they're being exposed to this stuff. Oh, look at Ice Spice, look at her. Ooh, I want a necklace like that. Oh, she's throwing up this sign. That looks so cool. Let me start throwing up this sign. Let me do this. And then it becomes trendy. Then it becomes a thing. And before you know it, people are so desensitized and things have gotten so watered down that they don't even really know what they're doing anymore. And all time they're performing rituals and putting demonic things on them, and they're wondering why they're depressed, or wondering why they're anxious, or wondering why they're going through, wondering why their marriage is messed up, wondering why their finances are all jacked up, because we're just kind of blind following the blind, not really questioning things enough. People get so upset in my comment section because I question so many things, but so many people just go with the flow of things. And I'm not a go with the flow kind of person. I'm going to question some things. I'm going to get a better understanding. That's what the Bible encourages me to do. And all that get a better understanding, I'm going to get a better understanding of something. That's why I didn't really want to talk too much on it about the Super Bowl and thing that was happening with Taylor Swift and Ice Spice, is because I thought that I didn't have a full understanding. But as I started to do more research and started to look more deep into things and what was happening there, I said, no, I was seeing with my right eyes. I have the discernment, and I was seeing with the right eyes. And I definitely think that Alicia Keys was performing on a serpent piano, and Ice Spice is definitely doing what she's doing here. And I prove to you right there that Taylor Swift is not on God's side, because even if you thank him in an acceptance speech, she's going to shake her head and she's going to lose her wits and just get very uncomfortable and scared. It was almost like she was scared. It wasn't like she was turned off by it. It was like she was afraid at the fact that she did it. Like, by mentioning God, it was going to ruin a demonic ritual, because even she knows that God is more powerful. So we can't mention him. We can't talk about him. We can't put him in the realm of what we got going on here. That's interesting, man. That's all I got for you guys on this one. I appreciate it if you guys state this long. Be careful with this stuff. Be watchful, and make sure you have some discerning eyes. You're not crazy. You're not looking too deep into it. And don't let anyone think, make you think that that's what's happening here. You've got the discernment of Jesus Christ, and he's just trying to help us navigate so we can protect ourselves from the other dark forces that are in this world. But that's all I got for you guys. To the next one. I'm out.